Help you again? Yes?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Stay and help you, I will.
Codsworth? Okay, so here's what we're going to do, Codsworth. We're going to demonstrate, for posterity's sake, how we built our pier. Where the hell did you go, Codsworth? Ah, Codsworth. Alright, well, you had better get your ass over here to at least record everything, because this is ridiculous. I'm not going to put up with this crap. I'm tired of you just skipping out on all the fun, Codsworth. I heard some rumblings over here. Whatever it was, we got experience for it, Codsworth, and that's all that matters, really. Alright, Codsworth. I'm going to build, Codsworth, and do some demonstrations, and you, Codsworth, are going to record it so we can put it on a holotape and share it with the rest of our settlements, just in case they decide they want to do this. So, alright, Codsworth, so the first thing we're going to do, we need to have our floor in place. So, Codsworth, just so you know, I like this floor here. So let's build this up high, so that way we can kind of go across, and we'll just go 4 wide. That seems like a pretty good distance there, and we'll just put a couple of these out here, and then what we'll do is we'll get our favorite tool, and we are going to push this up. So get out your lifting jets, Codsworth, because it's time to do some lifting. Lift! Alright. Okay, so that's as high as we can go, but we want to go higher, so can we take it higher? Alright, so that's as high as we're going to go. That's not as high as we want to go, right, Codsworth? So we're going to do a little bit of extensions. And that's a pretty big wolf over there. Is that a good wolf or a bad wolf? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, Codsworth. So let's see if we can get this going. Alright, so we got this where we want it, except for the fact that we're under the thing now. Alright, so let's see if we gotta get this done here. Okay. Oh, look at that. We got a radstag over there. That's good eating, Codsworth. Good eating. Okay, so from here we can take this up as high as we want it, right? Well, obviously we're limited to going down, but we can make this as high as we want it. So let's go with something like this. Okay. So we've got our elevation, and we're only going to need one of those. We probably won't need any of those anymore. So let's get some ladderage or stairage. We're not going to build the whole thing, Codsworth. We're just going to demonstrate how to build it, right? So let's go through the process like we did, or at least how our builders did. Okay. Unless this isn't the same floor. That's disappointing. I'm not consistent. These are the instructions that our building crew gave me. Of course, I messed up on the difference in the flooring, but we can adjust fire with that. That's no big deal. Okay, Codsworth, so here we go. Here we have this, and what we're going to do, as you can see, Codsworth, we can not do that. Here we go. Okay, so how come you're not cooperating here? Why are you not? What is wrong with you? Okay. There we go. That's how we get it started, Codsworth, just like that. Of course it doesn't want to cooperate, but who are we to complain? There we go. Come on. Come on. Work with me here, people. Come on. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo. Alright. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There we go. Alright. So, there we go. And then we'll do one of these. Alright. Okay, so we've now got our wall. Let's throw in a door. We don't have to do this whole thing, Codsworth, but we're going to do a fair amount of it. Alright. So, to add some visual interest, we are going to go with this. Right? So, the thing with these floors, Codsworth, is that you have to keep in mind that they kind of snap a lot of different ways that we're not used to. So here we're going to show how we put the flooring in, put the walls halfway through, right? And we're probably not going to need those. But, come on. Pardon me, Codsworth. Get rid of that. That way we can get this in there. There we go. Alright. So, here we go, Codsworth. Round number 2. Oh, that's how we did it. Oh, you almost made me forget, Codsworth. Almost made me forget. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright. So, here we go, Codsworth. Let's get this wall back here. We want it to face the other way. See how you just kind of flip it back and forth? These walls are kind of weird that way. So, we'll just kind of throw these around. For some visual interest, we'll do something like this. We need a door. So, this is going to be how we built our... I'll show you how we built our vending stalls. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. We'll do armor because that's, you know, kind of there. So these ones are a bit funky weird, right? So you kind of have to just get it to go, and then you just slowly kind of walk it back. And of course it's not going to cooperate with me right now because that would be too convenient, right? Okay. Isn't that lovely? Alright. Why are you not cooperating? Hello? Cooperation. Your cooperation would be greatly appreciated. Well, which one did we use? We used weapons. Let's try weapons. Maybe it's a little bit goofier than the other ones. Okay, so there we go. Alright. So you see how this goes in, right? So you just kind of get it to where you want it. And obviously try to keep it as straight as you can. Alright, so I gauge by the outside edge. That looks pretty straight. Okay. And now we can just simply put our half wall in. And for this one, let's go with windows. Right? We can do anything we want here. And now we've got our vendor stall. We can put a roof on that and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so that takes care of this stuff. It's basic building things right there, you know, no big deal. So let's show or demonstrate how we go about doing these regular walls, because as you know, the normal what tab you want to call this, it's the normal like scrap walls or what have you, they don't you can put them here, and they will obviously clip in to these. However, you can't use these very well, right? They're only going to go one way. So these walls work for some things, but things like the door and that kind of stuff, they don't always clip in, right? So a lot of times what you end up having to do is you have to be creative. And these are actually doing some things, Codsworth, that I didn't think they would do, because I didn't think these walls, these shack walls, would actually clip into place like that. Uh, because if we use these floors and do something similar, right? Oops. So with these floors, we cannot put this doorway in here. It sits on top. But we just discovered, Codsworth, that these barn floors, and let's test this on these floors here. These other floors, the warehouse floors, don't work that same way. But let's see what happens if we... I could have swore this thing was trying to go there. So let's see what happens if we... Come on. Start one of these walls. No. So this is one of the things I was going to show you, Cosworth. So for these, if you pull out the floor, this wall's thin enough you can pull the floor out and then put the floor back, and that'll allow you to put your walls up. Now let's see if this, it does. However, if we had the other floors, if we had these other shack floors, we could not do that. So this will snap in. Let's put this over there. Just go. Stop arguing with me. Alright, now let's try our shack door. See, it won't go in. So back in the olden days, we wouldn't be able to put that in there. However, this isn't the olden days. We have these new fancy floors that we can use, and we can just put these here, and we can put that there. So that allows these doorways to actually clip in similar ways than that the rest of these other floors do. So this allows you to build your buildings on these floors like this. So there you go. And then, Codsworth, what we do is we want to have some pillars. So the pillars are really nice, but what we do is we're going to go every other, because we don't want to have too many, but we want it to be well supported. So why are you not clipping there? You're not cooperating. So a lot of times with the pillars, what we find is if you put them, start off with the little ones, and I will show you why. So a lot of times we'll clip the little ones on, and then we put the big ones underneath. Right, Codsworth, are you paying attention? The reason why we do that is because places like here, when we put the big one on, you have this big gap. Right, you could obviously put the little one on, but there are times when if you don't know how tall it is, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you put the little one on. If you know you're gonna have to use two anyway, put the little one on first, because it gives you a much better chance of reaching the ground. In this scenario, we would have reached the ground anyway. As you move up, obviously, you could probably just use a tall one here. Nope, but we could still use a short one. But for consistency's sake, we like to make them where the seams are all in the same spot, so that way it looks consistent all the way around, and we don't have some sort of a hodgepodge weirdness like this. That just looks too random and strange, so we don't want to do that. But there you go. So, Codsworth, did you get all this recorded? Because once we do this and we share it, then um, we want to make sure everything's recorded so that way everybody can follow along at home and maybe do this in some of the other settlements here in the Commonwealth. So we hope that everybody likes this, and with any luck, we will be able to share this with everyone, and they will be able to use this for their own purposes, and we hope that everybody enjoys it. So, just as a recap, we showed how we elevated the floor. The floor will float. We don't have to have the pillars in place first, but the floor floats, and then we built our walls up using the barn floors. Barn floors seem to be more forgiving than the warehouse floors. However, I like the look of the warehouse floors better than the barn floors for some applications. At Abernathy Farm, maybe the barn floors would look better, whereas at Warwick Homestead, being you are right next to the sea and all that kind of stuff, the warehouse floors I think looked a lot better for a Pier type look. So, but it's purely up to you. Make sure you use these floors instead of the normal shack floors. So there you go, everyone. I hope that you can put this to good use, and I hope that it is going to be very effective. Who talks like that? Very effective for you and some of your other builds. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
All too easy. Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.